We are live.
Yeah.
Well, today we're going to be doing a Q&A for those who are watching the playback. This is the Obasanya's Q&A. I was answering questions earlier this week, and they were just really, really encouraging. And I also just felt like it would be great to have Yinka join in, since some of the questions were also asked of both of us. So today we will be doing a Q&A. Yeah, we're really excited.
Yeah, that's what's up. And also, guys, just feel free to be open with the questions, with what you ask. Really, there's no limits or boundaries, what I'm saying? We just want to get on here. I feel like we haven't been on live in a while, so we definitely want to just answer questions as you guys have them.
Yeah.
Ask away, what I'm saying? We're not shy, and we're pretty open people, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe we can explain a little bit about our marriage or our relationship in terms of how long we've been married, maybe the background of how we met. Maybe if you're new to Yinka's live or my live, we're just going to share a bit about our background and how we met. So you want to kick us off in that?
Yeah. So, everybody knows, Crystal chose me, and I try to just continue to make this known, because sometimes people get it twisted, but but really though we actually met through mutual friends, and I saw her on what did I see you on? I saw you on some flyer.
YouTube.
It was a flyer, but you did something with a Bible study in Houston.
Yeah.
That I saw. So that was my first time kind of seeing her, and then I ended up speaking at that Bible study and kind of just doing that whole thing, and then So she followed me on Twitter. No, I follow you. Did I follow you first?
You followed me first.
I guess.
Get the story right.
So I followed her first, and then she followed me back. And then we basically started talking from there. So. I think she slid in my DMs first, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
She slid in the DMs.
Because you're so fine. You are so handsome.
So she definitely hopped in the DMs.
But it wasn't for the reason of pursuing you. Mm-hmm. Tell the peoples. Tell them.
But
be honest.
Basically, what happened was she couldn't resist, and that kind of sparked the relationship. And but really, I was basically tweeting about something. She reached out, was grateful for whatever I was tweeting about it, and just speaking on these things. And then she reached out just to say thank you. Mm-hmm. And then I basically followed up. You know what I'm saying? Follow through
with the shots.
You gotta hold the follow through. So basically held the follow through. Yeah. And just asked about her, where she's from, and then we ended up talking on the phone a little bit. I invited her.
A lot, babe.
Yeah, a lot.
A lot.
So
we were friends. It was kind of like a thing where I didn't know he liked me, and he didn't know I liked him. So it was just really, really platonic. It was we're friends. Right. This guy wouldn't even text me back after 9 p.m. It was.
I'm a bad texter.
He's also a bad texter. I'll give him that. But he would not text me back after 9 p.m. Also, he called me sis one day, and I was I have been officially sis zone. We are just friends. So that was really awkward, because I was dang, I was really trying to be something, be your wifey, and he called me sis, and I'm So, met him in person for the first time, was so scared he was going to be catfished, because if you know my husband before, I guess, our relationship, he would not post pictures. He posted one picture a year. So I'm thinking he's catfish. He just goes to Google and types it in and posts it on his Instagram. So I was bro. So I first got to meet him. I was okay, he looks like what I saw on Instagram and Facebook. So that was good. Yeah. But after that, I preached at his ministry that he invited me to, and he fell in love. I just snatched his heart up. Okay, and. It's basically after that we dated for a year, got engaged. We dated for a year. He proposed, and then we're engaged for a year, and then we got married. So it was rather quick. We didn't waste a lot of time with our.
When you know. Yeah. That's it. When you know.
Yeah, so, for sure.
Yeah. So we ended up I guess we're going on 3 years in November.
We're going on 3 years in November.
3 years of marriage.
It's crazy.
We've got to do a lot together in these 3 years. We've seen God do amazing things in our lives, start different businesses.
Right.
We've got to do ministry together. We've got to buy investment properties.
Right.
We've got to do a whole lot of stuff. We got to travel all over. So we don't take it for granted. God has really been faithful in our marriage. And we've also had some real hard times. Some real hard times as well. I think a lot of times you guys see the stuff on the gram that's like, man, they're thriving the best, living their best lives, but there was along the way a lot of flesh killing. Basically learning how to die to the selfishness that's within us. Right. Learning how to be a team and not just do things. And not just do things for what our own benefit. So I think that's something that we've come a long way in. But honestly, we want to get to the questions.
So thanks for joining the Q&A. But for those who just hopped in, we are answering questions. If you have any questions that you either want to ask us individually or collectively as like a couple about our marriage, about our life together, you can ask those here. Okay, let's see. So it says, how has married life been?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of just talked about it. We kind of talked a little bit about that. Married life's been great. We've seen God's hand in it. We've accomplished a lot. Right. And we're just getting started. Yeah, literally just getting started. So, really, she's been begging me to get more present on social media and getting my face on the YouTube a little more. And obviously, if you guys can't tell already, she's the extrovert in the marriage. So I'm trying to get out of my shell. I do ministry, so I'm dealing with people a lot. But when it comes to social media, I'm still kind of I'm growing my wings and trying to do that more. So. Definitely excited to do more stuff like this. Time.
Absolutely. Well, one of the questions. What's that?
We had another question.
Oh, yay! Okay, another question just came in. So someone asked, "Does love fade away? For example, comparing it to when you both first got married compared to now." That's a great question.
That's a good question.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. Hold on. Let me see.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, love does not. Let's get a definition of love first, right? So, when we're talking about love in our context, we're talking about something that goes beyond a feeling, right? So, if you're talking about love from the feeling aspect, my emotions, those fade away. I was infatuated when we first started talking. We would spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours on the phone. Like, we would have class in the morning, or we would have work in the morning, or whatever, and we're talking to like 6, 7 a.m. just because we wanted to talk to each other so much and just get to know one another and do all that. But eventually that stops. Yeah. Real life. you can't keep checking out of work. So I think we learn really starting in dating early on what love really is, because I think in the first month of us dating, I lost a friend who died in a tragic accident, and that was a really hard time for me, and so immediately it's like, okay, how is she able to help me in my grieving process, right? It was one of those things where we kind of just jumped into the hard things of life. And then some other stuff started happening that was like really hard, around that season. And it was like, quickly we had to ask ourselves the question, is this, for play, or is this real? Is this something that we are willing to sacrifice our comfort for the sake of another person, and when we even by the time we said our vows, we had our vows were fire, they were flames, people crying and everything. But when those vows were actually put to the test,
Yeah.
Boy.
That's different.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's different, y'all. It's like, it's a whole nother level of commitment and devotion when it goes beyond this. When you know, that ring exchange is really cute.
It's cute.
But when you get into the real nitty gritty of it,
the real ring of marriage.
Right. The ringer.
The ringer.
The ringer.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's different, and it requires a lot of sacrifice. And I think we found that love is much more than a feeling. Even, you know, in our sex life, you know, like, you know, before it's more physical, you know, it's more of a physical act. But when you really connect with the person on a deep level, like, she ain't going nowhere, I'm not going anywhere, it's the two of us, we're in this together. You feel the love. Like, it really is making love. It's not just sex, you know. So I think that translates into a lot of different aspects of marriage. Yeah,
I agree. I think you said it really well. So I don't think love fades away. I just think it evolves. It changes, right? There are some seasons where I'm like, oh my gosh, like, that's my man. Like, oh yeah, like, you know, like, I'm all hyped. And there's some seasons where it's just like, okay, like, I love him. Like, we're best friends. Like, we laugh all the time. Like, we're great. And there are some days where I'm like, you're annoying me. Like, I'm annoyed, right? But for the most part, the love, we annoy each other a lot. But anyways, for the most part, it's like the love endures. That's the true virtue of it, right? The love endures. The love is long suffering. The love is, there's longevity to it, right? If we base love off of maybe an inflation of a feeling or the height of a feeling, we'll quickly feel like we're out of love if we don't always feel that. So it really truly is going to be a understanding that the feeling of love or the feeling of infatuation or the feeling of that googly eye love, it evolves over time, right? It might still be there, but there will be seasons where it might just look different. So
okay, let's see, did y'all do premarital counseling?
I think it was a good experience. I feel like there was a lot of stuff that we weren't really aware of that, you know, we did learn in premarital. For some reason, everything is like going over my head. All I really remember about was like our premarital counselor going in on sex. We're like, okay, like that was like, oh wow, this is serious. But, you know, if you have followed our journey, you know that Yinka and I did wait until our wedding day to become sexually active or to have sex for that first time. So we didn't know a lot about what we were getting into when it came to sex, you know, in the context of marriage with each other. So that was different, just learning about that. Oh, there was also a lot of like discussion about finances. And I feel like discussions like that, it's like, you know, one account or two accounts or a joint account. These are things you don't think about before you get married. You know, you don't just dream about sharing an account unless you know, your man a billionaire, you just don't coast off of him. You don't really think about that. You just think about, I'm going to have my money, he's going to have his money. So coming into marriage, it's just like figuring out, you know, oh my gosh, like we have differences, we have different opinions. How do we, you know, come together and, you know, meet in a ground that is conducive or healthy for both of us in our marriage at large. So yes, I do feel like marital counseling was helpful. It definitely did bring up a lot in me and bring up a lot in Yinka that I needed to know as well as he needed to know about me.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think our experience was good. I mean, we had one of her professors, and he like started this whole thing. What was it called? I can't remember what it's called. But he is like nationally recognized for the marriage stuff he did, and we got to do that for free. So definitely a blessing. But, it was real though. You know, these times, you know, we're fighting right at the door. and
we're fighting in the chair.
We're pulling up. Honestly, I'll keep it a buck with you guys because, you know, I don't care.
No, you need to care.
No, because there was a point where this dude really thought like, he was like, oh no, I've never seen this in my 40 years.
He's been practicing for like double most of our lives.
We would get into these arguments in the middle of the session.
And he would just stare at us.
And he was like, okay.
He would just look at us.
Yeah, these black folk kind of different. they got some different issues.
Because the way our conflict went, it wasn't as if like, oh, you are, talking to another girl. We don't have money. It just be the smallest things, like, oh, this sticky note was in the wrong place and now there's a problem. It's just so weird. Like, so we really did learn a lot about our conflict style, and that was huge because literally, like we said, he would just look at us, like just stare at us when we were arguing in the chair. And of course, he read our body language. I was 6 feet apart from him. CDC requirements, CDC guidelines. I was like, do not even look at me. Like, just stay away, because I was just, ugh. But yeah, we would literally fight on our way into premarital. And then it would be so obvious, because he'd be like, what do you love about him? And I'm like, I guess he chocolate. I guess he kind of cute sometimes, but he's not annoying. But anyways, so yeah, I guess that'd be our answer for that. Let's switch it back to mine and answer one. All right, so let's see. Okay, let me go up. So I like this one. So have you guys thought about providing ministry or support groups with other couples? Funny, we actually have a Clubhouse group that's called Real Relationship Talk. And we do that every 2 weeks on Monday at 7:30 p.m. CST. So literally that room is for married folks, single folks, divorced. It really open to anyone's background with relationships. Honestly, relationships don't even have to stop at just boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. It could be best friend, mom, sister, right? Because those are also relationships. So yes, we do have something like that. We in the past, we haven't been as forthcoming to, at least let me speak for myself. I haven't been as forthcoming to want to mentor as a couple, because there was so much that we were working through. And I always don't feel fully equipped if I'm not really there yet, which is weird, because God doesn't call the equipped. He calls the obedient, and he equips you. Yeah, but I've always just been like, oh, I just don't think we're there yet. But I think we're in a great place in our marriage where it's like, oh my gosh, like I can speak into someone's life knowing full well that we've conquered so much. So like, y'all, when we share our testimony one day and like God's timing, it will blow your mind, like blow your mind. So, I think that eventually in the future, as we continue to grow as a couple, I would love to mentor other women, other couples. I know there's a scripture in the Bible that talks about how older women, I'm not old, but older women should mentor the younger ones. And I really do believe that's necessary. So, yeah, that's what I would say.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get another one. Okay. We'll do, what is your relationship like with your in-laws? That's a great question. Mm-hmm. Great question. You want me to go?
Yeah,
go first?
Go for it.
No, I mean, honestly, our relationship is great, to be honest. Her mom always calls me, her fourth son. Is it fourth or fifth? Fifth son.
I have 4 older brothers.
He has 4 older brothers, y'all. So that was, they try to, intimidate a brother a little bit, but hey, we still here. So, and I love them. They love me. So, but yeah, no, definitely a great relationship. I think the more interesting thing was before we got married. I think there was, so she's, we're both Nigerian. Mm-hmm. She's Igbo, and then I'm Yoruba. Mm-hmm. So that's where our families come from. That's our tribal heritage and stuff like that. Both in the same country, but 2 different cultures, 2 different languages, 2 different ways of doing things. So a lot of it was like, it felt like it was nervousness on, okay, we don't know how they do things completely. Even like when it came to like Dobale, right? For
Yorubas, it's a way to greet your elders.
Right, you greet your elders. You basically do a little courtesy bow, and stuff
my
like
knees
that.
was out,
so
y'all.
She was like,
my knees was
like, I ain't doing all that.
And I mean, I'm stubborn. I'm stubborn. Let me stop. I'm very stubborn.
She was like, I ain't doing all that. I was like, well, you got to.
Yeah. So I did.
And she did. She came around and
now it's natural.
And now it's, she does it all the time now, and they love it.
Yeah.
My mom loves her, calls her more than she calls me at this point, so I'd be kind of jealous, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I would say beforehand, it was more so like, all right, what about this, we don't really know them, what's kind of the vibe with them? Are they, really.
And his mom is very intimidating. Like, she is a strong, like, she holds her own.
That's right.
So upon meeting her, it was kind of intimidating because she'll tell you like it is. She's not going to cut corners. She will let you know how she feels. So that was scary because I'm not very confrontational. But over time, as she got to know me, it was just like we clicked. And one thing that she said was that she loved how open I was. Like, I wasn't like hiding anything. Like, you know, it was like, hey, this is who I am. Take it or leave it. You know, the good, the bad, and period. At least you know what to be aware of. So she really respected that. And like, we're really close. Like, we talk a lot. She's one of my biggest YouTube supporters. She's always sharing my videos with her friends. And she just, she's awesome. I truly feel like that's a mother to me. Like, that's my mom. And I mean, I think one day, one of our friends' parents passed away, and I just don't do well around death. Like, death just creeps me out. So I actually slept in the bed with her. And it was just like, she just talked to me until like 2 a.m. and then I passed out. But it's just little things like that, the bonding. And those are things that I would do with my own mother. Like, you know, I would sleep with her and like just talk with her. So I just feel like having another mom or a bonus mom from a husband by marriage is just amazing. So in the beginning, of course, it's awkward, it's different. My mom always loved Yinka. She was like, if anyone's gonna spoil this relationship, it's gonna be you. Like, she always told me it'd be me to ruin it. But she always loved him. She just always loved his persona. She loved the spirit that he brought to the environment, the calmness, the humility. She saw that in him instantly. So she was on board for him being in my life. I think, of course, a lot of her friends would say, well, you're gonna let your daughter marry a Yoruba man because I'm Igbo. Now, we're different tribes. And she'd be like, listen, as long as he's a good man, that's all I'm worried about, because I can go and marry an Igbo today and that Igbo could ruin my whole life. You know what I mean? So it's not about the tribe. It's about, is this person a good person? Is this person a good man? Will this person take care of your only daughter? I'm her only daughter. I'm her baby. So it's just like, that's what mattered most to her, and I appreciated that.
Yeah, facts. You want to get a question?
Yes. Well, you have one. Let's see.
Okay. All right.
Who is the more stubborn one, and how do you guys compensate for their stubbornness? I mean, okay, but babe, I really feel like you be stubborn sometimes, though. I really feel like he be out here trying to like one up me, cause it's me. Like, I'm stubborn. My dad is really stubborn. My mom is really stubborn. So I come.
Why don't we have them vote?
Who do you guys think is more stubborn?
Who y'all think is more stubborn?
How about you guys decide?
Don't
so
lie.
Do you think Yinka is more stubborn, or do you think I am more stubborn? Just type the name.
Just type in C or O.
So let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and
let the people answer that one.
And jump to the next question real quick. So let's see. LOL, someone said you. Good.
You. Okay, I see how you're feeling, Alicia. Okay, all right. Oh, I see how you're feeling.
Listen, look at that.
Okay, I see y'all.
Okay, let's see. I like this one. When considering marriage, should one marry for purpose or love? That's a good question. Oh gosh, people are saying definitely Crystal.
That's
I'm
funny.
crying.
On my side, they're all saying me. On her
wow,
side,
is this how you guys really feel about me? I'm about to delete my whole page and block everyone.
We're seeing our enemies and friends tonight. Okay.
All right, but I love this question. Someone said Crystal Heart. You're trying to make up for it. You're insulting me. I'm putting hearts after the insulting me. It's okay. I get it. Exactly. I think it's him. Girl, me too. Girl.
I'm a pray for you, yo, hey.
All right. Well, let's see. Okay, so this next question said, what was your? So no, I like. So was one considering marriage? Should one marry for purpose or love? Babe, do you want to tackle that one?
Should one say it again?
So when considering marriage, should one marry for purpose or love?
Why not both?
Yeah, I think both.
I think both, man. If you love, I mean, the love is only going to be the catalyst for purpose. So if y'all come into a marriage actually loving each other, being on the same team, it's only going to make you pursue purpose even harder. So that to me is a trick question. But I think it's definitely both in. When you love somebody, y'all are on the same page. She trusts my intention, I trust her intentions. when she's starting a business, I don't have to feel insecure. When I'm starting something, she doesn't have to feel like I'm going to leave her hanging.
Right.
We have the same mentality because we're tapped in love.
Yeah.
So purpose just flows out of that.
Yeah. I also just want to like throw out, I feel, a very, very, not controversial, but I feel like it's a topic where we kind of see the memes going around and trending, like don't fall in love with their potential. And I don't know, I somewhat disagree with that, because when we first met, we were broke. Like, had we based our current, like, standing off of whether we should be married to each other, it would have been a heck no. Because we didn't have no money. Like, Yinka was in grad school. I was in grad school. You know, babe, do you want to talk more about how much money you had in your account?
I ain't gotta get on my wallet.
Go. I mean, that was then, babe. But that was then.
I was broke.
Let's
just leave it. I was
BROKEEEEE. What you know about me? We were broke. Oh God.
We were broke.
And if I had seen that and been like, he's broke. Oh my gosh, heck no. You know, it would have been really easy to just be like, well, he doesn't have and mind you guys know I'm bougie, okay? I like nice things. I do. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. I like nice things. I grew up as the only girl. I grew up spoiled rotten. I pretty much got whatever I wanted as a kid. No is a curse word. Like, what's that mean? So I already knew I knew I wanted a good life, right? But I also trusted God that he would provide that, you know, through whatever means possible. So upon getting with Yinka, I think this is another question also that I'm going to tie into. It was like, why did I choose him? And at the end of the day, yes, Yinka was broke. And I too was broke. Like, we didn't have money. Like, we didn't have even money to afford a ring at some point, right? But he grinded for that. And seeing him grind for that, that's what let me know that this man is willing to do anything to make sure I'm well provided for. This man is willing to sell his shirt off his back to make sure that I eat. And that alone proved to me that, yes, this is someone I can spend the rest of my life with. This is someone I can trust to take care of me. Because I have this, you know, insecurity with wealth in a way. Not insecurity, but I have this, like, scarcity mindset with money. It's like, oh my gosh, I have to save. I have to make. I have to do because of, you know, what I experienced as a child. And it's really hard to trust that someone will come through for me. So I feel like I have to do it for myself. So seeing him, like, you know, do things like, you know, waiter is like a food delivery company, and then getting promoted to like the marketing guy, or, you know, just jobs that would help bring money to the table and help provide for the wedding and the ring and all that stuff was very, very encouraging. So now where we are now, you know, after buying our home and then an investment property and then starting all these different businesses, it's not shocking to me to realize that he's the same man that was willing to do whatever he needs to do to make sure he provided, to make sure it was there. But in the moment, you know, did he have it all? No. Like, he had potential for us to have it all, but he did not have it all in terms of the finances, but he had the virtues that I wanted, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And just to add to that, like, when it comes to, like, especially, I guess I want to speak to whoever, like, when you have certain principles that you live by, that you abide by, that honestly you attract wealth. You know what I'm saying? You attract, and I'm not saying, okay, automatically money's just going to start falling into your pocket, but really, like, if you have the mentality of living generously, of wanting to be a provider, of wanting to invest and multiply, like, you will attract wealth. Really, mm-hmm. It's like a mentality thing. And I've seen just God's hand in our life and just both of us, you know, like, we've more than quadrupled what we were making back then. You know, it's like vastly different, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, we're just getting started, but it really was the same mentality, mm-hmm. and the same way of thinking and approaching money, that we had back then, you know, mm-hmm. and I think God's only going to use that to grow and to bless other people as well. So I mean, if you're in a situation right now where you're not making it, just stick to the principles, stick to, you know, being a generous person, stick to investing your money, mm-hmm. stick to being a good steward of your money, stick to hustling and grinding the way you need to hustle and grind. and it'll come.
Right.
And when you get a good woman by your side, it's especially the fellas who push that and bring that out of you. Oh, it's a wrap. You know, it's not even it's not even a question. You know, because that's what she did for me. You know, she brought something out of me that I didn't even know was there. I'm a single bachelor, man. I can sleep on the floor,
y'all. Spaghetti.
I can thug it out, you know. But
spaghetti sauce and
spaghetti sauce, that was my special cereal, you know. And, but she brought another side out of me that helped propel us.
Yeah. So I mean, at the end of the day, it's like obviously if a guy is a bum, he's a bum. Like it's like he's not. I mean, let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. If you a bum, you a bum. Okay. I don't want no scrub. You know, like let's just call it what it is. Okay. So if he's just not serious, it's very obvious. Like I think we all know a man is gonna do what a man wants to do, right? If he wants to be with you, he's gonna be with you. If he wants to marry you, he's gonna marry you. Period. If he wants to provide for you, he's gonna provide for you. If he wants to hustle, he will hustle. So at the end of the day, there's a difference, right? But I say all that to say, don't let a man not having a lot of money or the money that you desire in that moment hinder you from saying, you know what, I see something in him that he is willing to go the extra mile to make sure that we are taken care of. And that was what he literally would tell me all the time. Like, babe, like, you will eat before I eat. Like, you will be good before I'm good. And if you know Yinka and you know me, he's a very, like, he doesn't need a lot. He doesn't need the latest this. He doesn't need this. So it's like the balance is impeccable. Okay. Like God knew what he was doing because we can't be out here both, you know, doing fashion competition. Like,
and she's not. I won't say you're like that. You're not like,
I'm not.
Oh, Gucci this.
No,
Gucci.
I'm not.
You got style. You can dress, and you like to look good.
Right.
And I like that you look good.
Right. And he was actually really impressed. When he first met me because I was very, very serious with budgeting. I was very serious with just making sure I saved money well. So there are still some virtues about me that, you know, kind of led to me at least handling my money well, like stewarding it well because I'm not going to blow it all on vanity.